Hello everyone, welcome to my first video. I am Anya with Round 3 Design, and I would first like to take a moment to thank the 5 wise, wonderful women who helped me get this started. Thank you ladies for being my cheerleaders. So here is the first video in a series called A Year of Shakers, and obviously this is for January. In this series, I will walk you through the assembly of 12 shaker cards that are somewhat timed and themed for holidays and events throughout the year. I've made these 12 kits as gifts for those 5 wonderful women, so everything's all ready to go. If you're following along, I will explain what's in each set as well as list the products in the description. So the products I'm using are all from my stash. I'm a firm believer in using what you have regardless of its novelty. Even though the new things are exciting, I rely on staples and techniques that do not require the latest and greatest. The best part of crafting for me is being able to make anything I want using what I have. So here we go. I have A2 size envelopes made from the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board and an A2 side fold card base made from Neenah 110-pound cardstock. And then I have a piece of Neenah 80-pound cardstock that was inked with Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink, and a transparency. And then I have these 2 cover dies that I cut from my electronic die cutting machine, and they were designed to go together in either way. You can use one just kind of like hexagonal or cubish, or this one which looks floral, but you put them together and it makes this lovely snowflake or poinsettia pattern. This would be really cool to do for Christmas in red and green, and just beautiful. So here's that beautiful snowflake look here. And then the die cut snowflakes were die cut from some pearlescent paper from Recollections. This is from Park Snowflakes Set 2 dies. And so is the second one there that I'm holding, and that one is made from vellum. Those were both from the same set. So the third one here is also from pearlescent paper from the Park Snowflakes Set 1. And then these 2 aqua smaller ones are from the Fawn mini snowflake set of dies. And then I have various Fawn sentiments that are stamped and heat embossed on the matching aqua papers. These are just random sets that I found in my stash that match the New Year's snowflake feeling that I was looking for. And you can mix and match them however you'd like to do, or add them or don't, but this is all yours. You can do what you want with it. So here I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't. I've attached my transparency to both of my cover dies, and I did put little tiny squares underneath each of those snowflake centers. And for my shaker area, I have doubled up my foam tape. So there are technically 3 layers of foam tape here, but you don't need 3 layers of foam tape, just 2 for a good shaker area. So I thought my camera was recording again, but it wasn't. Rookie mistake. Gonna do that quite often, I'm sure. So when I'm putting these together, I'm gonna make sure that I put some powder inside my shaker with the transparency, just the same thing that I use when I'm doing embossing, to resist static and oils and things like that. So I'll get my shaker mix out here, and this is just a variety of sequins and dewdrops and seed beads, just some mica flakes and things like that. It doesn't take a lot to fill up this shaker, even though it's a full-size shaker. It only takes half that little bag, so you can do quite a bit with it. Here I am trying to turn the dewdrops over the right way so that they aren't shaking backward. So here I've inserted a spoiler clip for next month. This is how I actually do all of my shakers. I take the 3M foam mounting tape, and I usually get the 1/2 inch size, and I cut it in half, stick them together, and then cut that in half again, and that equals my 1/8 inch that I need to go on around all of my edges. So it's all doubled up already, and then you can take off both sides of the liners if you need to make it flexible to go around where it needs to go. But that's what I do. Cut them in half, stack them up, cut them in half, and attach. I usually just measure the two sides, so it only takes 5 1/4 inches down the one side and 4 inches down the other. So you're only using 9 inches of foam tape to make one shaker card. So it's very economical. And especially if you get the big roll from Amazon, it ranges about $30 for a roll of 36 yards. So lasts a very long time. When I'm putting the corners together, I'm making sure that I am butting them up against each other, that everything is tight, it's all secure right up against the transparency, so nothing's going to come out when I'm shaking these. And you always love to shake them. They make a wonderful noise. They're just so lovely. So we want to make sure that nothing comes out, everything is secure. I know this is very tedious looking, but it goes by quite quickly. In fact, the video is only sped up 1.5 times, so this is almost real time that I'm cutting these. It doesn't take that long at all. And no, the edges don't matter if they're straight or crooked, and I guarantee mine are crooked. They're just going to be that way. It's part of how it goes. Here, I'll get the last one up. And on the bottom, you'll see here in a moment, I didn't quite get it long enough on the one side when I was trimming it. So I will add a little piece from another scrap that I had lying around. And I'll just fit that right in there because we don't want any gaps or anything. Everything needs to be tight and in there nice and neat. And you can squish them against the sides. So here I've removed the liner from the foam tape and sealed my shaker together, and it's all ready to go. I like the background to be adhered to the shaker first before I put it on a shaker card because it makes everything so much easier to line up. So here I'm taking, this is a roll of, I believe it's Couture Creations Die Cut and Bond is what that roll of adhesive is, and I just put a panel on the back, and then that adheres very securely to your card base. In fact, this is not quite as strong as score tape, but very strong, and if you don't place this right, you're not going to get a second chance to do it. All right, so all set. Very lovely, nice and shaky. And now I'm going to layer up my snowflakes. So I'll fuss around with this for a bit and decide which way I want them to lie. And then I'm going to put adhesive where it's not going to show. So because the second snowflake is vellum, it's, of course, see-through, and I don't want the whole thing to lay flat. I want it to stay up and be dimensional. So I'm just going to put little bits of adhesive where the next snowflake will actually cover it. Just those 6 little dots, and that's all it takes. The glue that I'm using is Tombow Mono Multi Adhesive, and that's the one I've been using for 15 years now, so kind of stuck on it. And it's in a fine liner bottle with a 20, I think it's a 20 gauge nozzle on it, and they're indispensable. If you want a no clog nozzle, that is definitely one to try. So I've decided to put Happy New Year here, so I'm going to put some foam adhesive behind that. And I don't think I'm going to be doing the dark aqua snowflake. You can add that to the inside or put it anywhere as an accessory on top. So I'm just figuring out how to line up the rest of my snowflakes here. Of course, the fuller the better for this big fluffy focal point, at least in my opinion. So I'll get this other pearlescent one set, and then I will put the light aqua snowflake. Again, that one is from the Lawn Fawn mini snowflakes. That's one of the bigger ones in that set. And then my foam tape, or my foam adhesive for my phrase right on top. And then I will adhere that whole piece to the shaker card itself. And it's not really going to matter where the adhesive is on that one because the biggest snowflake is pearlescent and you can't really see through it. So I'll put adhesive on the back of that. Again, I'm not gluing the entire thing down. I'd like it to stay up and be dimensional. So I'll stick those together. And here's everybody's favorite trick. Use your reverse grip tweezers to hold everything together while it dries. And then I have all these phrases that are already done and ready for whatever next card that I might want to make. Still have half that shaker mix, so that one's ready to go. Okay, so it's all dry and ready to go. I just love how beautiful and dimensional this is. On the inside, I toyed around with the idea of putting any of the extra phrases or snowflakes in there. You can stamp, whatever you'd like. It's very generic, so it can go to anyone for whatever reason. This would make a beautiful thank you card for after Christmas. So I decided not to put anything in this one and just leave it blank. And that should be it for January. So just shake that one around a little bit. Gotta always shake your shaker. And so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for February's card. Bye!